like 3-something in.
We need to talk to Monica about that, because she's the one who came up with the number on the outgoing.
That's true.
So,
I don't know if she collected cash or, because I know, no.
Everything was on Square. It was 30 for each family.
We charged 35 on Square, which is what she told me to charge.
Yeah. that's
It
what
was
I paid.
36 something on there. So that's why we're saying we overcharged. So I don't know how we got less in.
I don't know why the check going out was that big then. We need to,
that's the invoice, yeah,
Hmm.
The invoice.
I didn't do the,
Well,
Well, we'll look into it. So
Yeah.
it was 18 banners times 30.
okay. So that's one to look at. The other one is
Right?
yeah.
approval. This is,
Because the only ones who didn't get one was.
there's two that didn't get it right.
Sam and yeah.
There's-
Correct.
Did Carolyn get it? She did. Okay.
Yeah.
That's it.
So can we just go with Monica to figure out how many she actually purchased?
Yeah. There she
Are you
is.
sure you're getting them all from Square? The only thing I, because I thought, because yeah, I sent 18. I think your Square, let's check your Square number's correct, first of all. Because that may not be correct, because I remember seeing 18 in Square and they're doing 35 per,
All right.
Yeah, because we
We're gonna
on
be
Square
Square,
it's
move on.
overcharged.
all right, we'll
We'll
figure that out.
look at Square again.
Okay, that's the list. I think we, some of the, all of the items that were
Yeah.
not general meeting, I think will just become quick notices in the full meeting, so.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
I
I
think
think
that's
we're
it.
good. Okay, so we'll breathe for a second and then come back. Live stream is on. Oh, you didn't get the text message yet. Or maybe you did. Oops, I just sent it 3 more times.
Just in case.
Well, it is
Easy to do.
it is because it doesn't refresh the page. So you think nothing happened and then you keep clicking it. Sorry.
I haven't gotten it one time, if it makes you feel any better, because my phone doesn't have service.
Okay. Yeah, that's. And it seems to have flipped. I think this school likes T-Mobile better now. It used to like Verizon. Verizon anywhere, full self-service, stream a movie. Now not Verizon. It's like T-Mobile
We
happens
just get
now.
all of them, put a tower right on the roof of this place.
I know.
Put it on over there, because if you're right under it, you don't get a signal.
Oh, really?
Put it on the school across the street.
Yeah, put it totally home. There's is that here where they made the radio towers and they like made them look like trees, but they like put like a branch on it? That's New Mexico, right?
Yeah, Mexico.
Yeah, where they did a really yeah, it's like 3 branches on the top that don't have leaves on it.
Yeah,
It's actually a tree that doesn't.
I got a
list
text,
New
but no
Mexico.
link.
It doesn't
yeah,
have
kind of almost
trees.
looks like a palm
Is it?
tree.
Is that what you sent?
We had some sort
That was earlier today.
Oh,
I
maybe,
sent,
no, never mind.
yeah,
Same one that got sent.
I sent a brand new one that had the link to
You know,
the
I have
meeting.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 copies of the same thing.
Yes.
No link.
No link.
Yeah, no link.
Duh.
Better not
Hold on.
have the text.
Here it is. All right.
Click once.
But it's not an
It was set on the other. Yeah. Now it should send out a link to.
There you go. You got that one?
Nope.
Yep.
There's a link on that one.
Okay. Whew, there we go. Yeah, I'm sorry. 7. Gosh, I only sent 3 right now. That means I sent 4 this afternoon.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay. Live
Just
stream.
want to make sure I can see the chat too.
Sure.
I didn't get the one this afternoon.
Well,
Unless you
actually-
did, 'cause he asked me.
Well, here, let me make sure that since I have 30 seconds left, let me check your. Let me check Ryan and Riley's. Make sure that your number's right on there.
Somebody's like, quick tick.
I've gotten that response.
Just been out service.
505-228-7412.
Yeah,
Let me take out the dashes on it. Maybe it's.
It's like a big announcement.
If you ever said stop to that,
no?
it's like impossible to get it back.
Really?
I think you have to like get to
Really?
this, like you have to text to the same number like start or go or yes, or and you have to know the number, which is.
Or maybe I did get it and I just closed it.
You just ignored us.
Oh, yeah, I did. I got it at 2:09. I got one, though.
See, I only got one, too. Yeah, the 2 and the other 3 got.
See, I didn't screw up that bad. Hello, everyone. It is 7 o'clock. Welcome. I really want a gavel,
Yeah.
just because.
Of all places, you can find something to hit something with. Isn't it?
Yeah, in this room.
We got lots of info and big meeting, so let's get started. Need a motion to call the meeting to order.
Motion.
Nancy, and second.
Ooh, Janice.
Pick between Arlene or Jen. And we need a motion to approve and a second to approve the meetings from the last minutes from the last meeting. Nancy again. There we go.
Sorry, what's her name? Angelique. Okay, thank you. Angelic. Okay.
Okay, let's jump right into treasurer report.
All right. For September, beginning bank balance was $46,572.55. We had $12,872 in deposits, $10,448 in withdrawals. Ending bank balance, $48,996.54. Outstanding deposits of $1,341. Outstanding withdrawals, $2,407. Giving us an ending balance of $47,129.74. Change of balance of $1,357. Our cash box has $943.25 in it. That's because the fundraising.
The car wash.
Car wash fundraising is in there, and that will be deposited here shortly. Our PayPal has $1,000 on it, giving us a total cash balance of $49,872.99. Anybody want to give me a penny to make that?
Even
99 cents. Wow.
Any questions or concerns on cash balance? Thank you all for bringing that up from the depths of nowhere.
No? Okay. We just need to, we're not making any budget changes today, so.
Do we want to review budget quickly or no, or
I don't think, since nothing's changing,
we're just spending monies off?
I don't think you just sent me the report. I didn't have a chance to look over, see if there's any are there any glaring spots you want to highlight?
Overall, we're still in the green in all areas. We've spent, out of the $104,886 budget, we've spent $31,364, give us a remaining amount of $78,522, or 74%. A good highlight, if I can find it down here. Maybe I need to write something so I can find it. If we look at our dues that we've received for marching band, so far we've received about
Oh, man.
32% and about 11% on the jazz. So we're doing much better than we have in prior years with dues coming in.
Yeah.
Good.
If you've missed those emails, you will get one going out tonight to remind you of what's left, so.
When I see it, the sheet I'm seeing says total from dues is 70%? Why is
That's the percent of budget remaining.
remaining? Got it.
So received is a 16, amount due is still 37.
Awesome.
Cool.
Awesome. So, do you need a motion to approve the non-changing budget?
I move to approve the budget.
Dorothy.
Dorothy? And a second.
Angela.
All right, back to the agenda. Director's updates.
Thank you to everybody. I tried to, if I missed, I genuinely meant to do it. I tried to give a handshake or a hug to every single person that helped with us in Las Cruces because it's the very least I could do. I really meant it, and I wanted to, if I missed you by chance, just running around, I apologize, and I'll give you an extra handshake. But I thought it went incredibly well. Really happy with how everything went overnight. Really happy with the travel itself. The students performed well. Everything really, really happy about that. Later on, I do want to do a Las Cruces trip recap from the body to understand if there are any things that we want to look at going forward for Flagstaff. But from right now on my end, very, very pleased with everything going on. Happy to be home. After the kids had a full weekend this past weekend, they were alive this morning. So alive and well, and we're excited to go for our Cibola game this Friday. I realize I don't say this enough, but when we perform at games, this is a visitor game, so we are visitors. Even though it will be at Nasenda Stadium, we are the visitors, meaning we will perform pregame. That pregame performance will be us walking on the field about 20 minutes till game time, 6:40, with our performance starting about 6:45. We'll be performing second, third, and fourth movement, and then just a regular game after that. But please share that information. I found out, unfortunately, when I didn't, this past week, I didn't do so well with that, about what we were doing. And some people were disappointed. They said, oh, I wanted to see this. Or they were disappointed they didn't know it was middle school night and they wanted to come and support that. So please share that and help out as much as possible. Maybe we can get that on the team stack, just about what the performance is, what movements that might be. Some of the teachers here come whenever we add something new. So I did not realize that. Yes, Dorothy?
When you do the pregame, do they take, the props?
That's his call. They didn't last time. I think they are this next time. Do you have props with it? You didn't for middle school night, right?
Yeah, we didn't for middle school night. I would like to take props for this weekend so that we get another practice. Yeah, another practice. A cool update, what the Bushmans, I assume you guys did it together. We have a lighter way of putting together the smaller tarps, kind of a PVC frame. Checked that out this morning. It's going to work really great. Yes, Monica? They'll be facing towards the home crowd. That would be important. So I would either walk over. We will perform towards that home crowd at that game.
So if folks want to come into the stadium, they will want to sit on the opposite side of us, though, for the rest of the game, though.
On our
I
normal
don't know how is crossing back and forth. I guess this is important.
We can't.
So can
Okay.
we flip it? Can we perform to the visitor side like El Dorado did last year?
I always perform to the home side. It is something that I like to do to let that crowd see what we're doing.
Props say, please don't change it out.
Yeah, yeah, it's.
Walking backwards.
Yeah, there's things for the performance to practice. It changes a lot. I apologize. I did not know that it was so hard to get from side to side. I apologize.
Unless you have field access, you can't.
Yeah.
That's the
So
only way you can cross the field.
yeah. So
Can we slowly escort people back with their passes?
yeah. If you really want to be up on that one and it's some trouble for you, just let us know and we'll figure out how to get you up there.
I'll take you guys across. Maybe yell at you.
Yes.
We're not to that topic quite yet, but how many tons of sand were you buying when you bought for the time that you did it?
We'll come back to that one. And that'll be actually a committee meeting.
Yeah, we'll get updates from the
Yeah.
fundraising committees a little bit later in the agenda, yeah.
Yeah.
What side of the field are we gonna be on there?
We are visitors.
So we're gonna be on the other side.
Correct.
the east side.
Correct. Yep, we'll be on that visitor side for this game. So I'm glad I brought it up and then we dissolved some of the confusion. Anything else about, I guess this is our first visitor game. The only other one was El Dorado that we would have gone to and we were in Las Cruces. Any other questions?
What were the movements? One more time.
2, 3, and 4. So 2, 3, and 4. Important for your students to know that All-State, I think it's important for you guys to know because there are registrations. I've had a lot of communication from parents about how do I register for Honor Band, how do I register for All-State, what they all mean. So I'll tell you guys all together. The registration for Honor Band, I do. Registration and how Honor Band works, we've actually had, I asked specifically for flyers to be put up in all the schools so everybody understands how it works. It's kind of been the students guessed how it worked before. Honor Band is all of the schools in the APS, and you get 3 nominations. Those nominations are made by me, and they have to do with pass record in All-State, certain things like that, and I picked my top 3. They then go through a selection process that will happen on Wednesday to fill any remaining spots that were not filled by the initial 3 per school. You do not have to do anything for that. No parents have to do any registration. There is no money involved for you as part of that. All-State. All-State is registered individually. Something I don't think I was clear about last year is there is a portion of our booster budget that we set aside to support the students with extracurricular excellence and musical performance. So there is an amount. We generally, since I've been here, we've been able to pay for the registration fee for those students. I have to know what students are coming in, though. If we suddenly have a whole lot of them, that's a consideration money-wise, because it's not a $5 fee. It's more like a $25, $30 fee. There is an audition fee, and then there is being a part of it fee. I did not explain that some last year. It caught some people off guard. So there's the I'm auditioning for this. Here, listen to my tape, pays for the judges. And then there's the fee to actually hire the clinicians that come in January. So just to be clear with everybody here, the boosters more often than not will cover the audition registration fee. And then the actual participation fee is paid for by parents. So that one's out there. Honor Band, you don't got to do a thing. All-State, you don't have to do anything unless they are selected for All-State. And that's happening this month in the next 3 weeks. A lot of things coming up. This week we have football game. We have a Wednesday rehearsal. This is 2 to 4. This is because there is no school on that day. We're having our practice since we're gearing up for competition, of course. Next week there is no rehearsal, I believe, on Monday or Friday. I'm not doing extras next week. It's just a normal Tuesday through Thursday with after schools on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So this week, yes. No school on Wednesday, yes, rehearsal. Next week, no school, no rehearsals. Don't come in on Monday, don't come in on Friday. And I hope I'm not going against what I wrote down. Week after, we have our game. Week after is Flagstaff. That's a 4-day week for us. I forget why we're off on that Friday. Parent-teacher conferences, we are rehearsing on that day. That is a yes rehearsal day, yes football game day. Please check those times for the rehearsals. I've stacked that rehearsal before the football game in order to not have parents driving around so much. So there are some different rehearsals this Wednesday. Next week is normal, but it doesn't feel normal. And then the week after is a Friday afternoon rehearsal that's extended before our performance at the Rio Rancho game. Flagstaff comes after that, and we'll come back to that as an action item after we discuss if there's anything to adjust based on what we saw in Las Cruces.
You have the recurring rehearsals next week, this week on Tuesday, Thursday?
Correct.
And the one?
Correct.
So there's 3 rehearsals this week?
Correct.
Got it.
3 rehearsals this week, the normal ones, and then the one on Wednesday. The week after that is actually pretty simple. There's no football game since it happens at exactly the same time as Zia. So the last week of our marching season is actually going to be one of the simplest. There is no race this Sunday for TCR. That race was canceled. The Zia weekend, so we get through that, and then we have two races
that Sunday.
on that Sunday. Notice that it will say race team 1, race team 2. Students have already been divided up into 3 race teams, of which they were randomly sorted into. Did the fun wheel, color wheel online. I'm sure a lot of people know that when you try to randomly generate something. It's the first link. And they were put into 3 equal teams. It's a good time now since we haven't done a race in a while. For anybody who it's your responsibility to be there, if it's your team, it is your responsibility to find some sort of replacement if you are unable to do it. And that doesn't necessarily have to be a band member. We've had older brothers, we've had sisters, we've had cousins, a parent filling in for someone who has a soccer game or a basketball game. Whatever it happens to be, we just ask that that spot is filled in order to make sure that we are fulfilling our obligations.
And where are those lists?
I was just gonna ask, can you resend that, cause the last time it was pushed out was last year.
Sure. Yeah. I haven't sent it to parents yet. Only students at this point. I'll send it out to you guys so you can see. You can track that. I'll put that on my notes. Thank you. Send.
And then I'll push it in the stack.
And let me check our live stream real quick.
We're good. I've been
Okay. Perfect. I believe that covers us through the month of November. long-term things to think about are the Jazz Dinner Dance, the West Side Jazz Festival on November 9th, which will need just 1 or 2 people to help out. And our newly added, we will be performing, I don't remember the name of the place, of the specific church, but we're going to be playing a Christmas gig sort of thing for a parent of one of the members of Kristen Romero. Is a part of or works for a church that I believe is somewhere up on the east side of town. They're going to be making a donation. They usually make a donation to a jazz group that plays for them. He said, hey, let's get the jazz band over here. We can make a sizable donation to the band program, help support you guys, and they get another performance. I don't believe we'll need a ton of help, maybe a loading crew to help out. I do believe I would like to use the trailer. He's asked us. We don't necessarily have to. There is equipment we can take. So load and crew, we can talk about that. And just people in and out. That'll be on December 15th, a Friday. That is on the calendar. I've been much better this year. I think everything that I have said has gone onto the calendar or been deleted. Please let me know any of those things that maybe I say but are different on the calendar. You may feel like you're nagging me. It's very important because once I say something, I generally think that it's communicated well. And if one app or some place that was maybe created before, like this meeting, say I did it this morning, and I need to update it, I want to make sure that all lines of communication are solid. Or for the parents with the Stack app. That should be everything for the next month. Is there anything else that I may be missing board to address for the students? I think we're doing well. Oh, yes, Jackie. I'll send it out for you guys again.
To do for him.
Yeah. Yeah, I have it on here. I think I talked about it briefly. I definitely weren't there at that time. So I'll get that out and I'll post them on the doors as well for you guys.
Senior night is the 20th as well, right?
The 20th, correct. Senior night is the same day as that Rio Rancho game. That is that senior night. Oh, this is good. I'm glad you mentioned that. Senior night for those parents, those seniors. The number of guests that you are allowed to take on with you on the field, there is no number, but they will only announce 2 names. So you can take a crew with you if you want to walk out, get your picture taken, because there is the picture with the uniform, all that sort of stuff, but they will announce 2 names in order to have the process go through more quickly. Thank you for reminding me.
And I have some things to hit on.
Yeah,
that, too.
so we're
Okay.
just waiting for him to finish them.
Perfect. I think that's everything that I can think of, unless
All right.
anybody wants clarification.
Yeah, any questions for Mr. V on curriculum stuff and
Great,
stuff?
grading.
Just in general, like,
Yeah,
he's controlling activities, and we'll go through kind of what the board needs to do next.
yeah.
Bantober, so it's very busy, but I want to pause there, see if there's anybody online has any questions.
Yeah, I can say real quick, Curriculum Rise, end of the 6 weeks is this week. Please do everything you can. This eligibility affects the rest of the season, right? So I would hate to lose for the last 2 competitions someone who is ineligible. Eligibility, as far as I think general activities, is 1F with no lower than a 2.0. For any NMAA activities, it is no pass, no play. It should be 0 Fs on that side. We're not doing any NMAA, but oftentimes those get squished and squashed. So there's the general extracurricular activity, and then there's NMAA specific. So please do all that you can. I've had a lot of study halls. I have stopped study hall. This is important. I've stopped study hall at this point because some students were missing too much rehearsal or not getting their work done. They were having it was another place for them to not do work. So I have brought everybody in. Unfortunately, I have brought everybody in, and everybody is in full time. I have had some students ask for that time back. If there is a special case, please always do contact me. So-and-so, this is what happened this night. We've been out of school for 3 days. If you could, I'm always willing to help make sure that they are academically successful. And it is important that they know that they can ask me if there is a short bit of time. I can't give them an hour and a half, but I can give 45 minutes here and there in order to make sure they're successful the rest of the day. So I'll close off with that.
Yeah. So we're going to go through some of these items that are on the agenda. I'm going to go in backwards order because I think the most important stuff is at the end. Starting with senior night, you want to tell us because some people had questions about that and what to expect.
Yes.
Take it
so
away.
Myself and Jeanette, is that how you say it? Yeah, there you are here. we are part of the senior committee, so I did put a poll out on the band app for your students to put whether or not they wanted a mom, a boutonniere, 2 boutonnieres, 2 moms, however they wanted to do it, depending on those 2 escorts that are gonna be bringing them on. So we got that number down. We're gonna start making those items. I had a question on the script. Who writes that script that they read? Because the students were asking.
I asked them today as well. We do not have any. I said, what should the script look like? How many? That's why the names.
Okay.
Mr. Woods is talking to Coach Wallen and the football team as well.
Okay, so they'll let us know.
Yeah.
Okay. Ms. Rodriguez, Monica, she did put out on the band app as well for senior spotlight. So your students should have filled that out as well on the band app, and that's to highlight them from that week of senior week. What is it, October 16th through the 20th? So before that senior night game, your student with the picture that they took will be put on there with like their likes and favorite memories and all that good stuff. If your student has it, if you has not, and you have a senior, if you just want to like, hey, by chance, because I don't know, are you missing anybody?
9 have turned them in.
Okay.
Do you want me to
so-
blast
But
that?
They have time, they still have time.
Yeah,
So-
if you don't mind.
I'll also blast it, yeah. I'll have it to do.
And then,
I'm certain it is.
Is it pregame or halftime?
so it's halftime, is what I, halftime, and then,
So parents need to be there probably,
that was what I was gonna
In the
ask,
second
how they
quarter.
did it last year, because those are questions the parents were asking.
Yeah, I thought it was
Close to
pregame.
the end of first quarter.
Yeah.
So last year it was pregame because there was 32 football players.
So they didn't have enough time at half.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So I think they're down to 20 this year,
Mm.
which helps, and you can add band.
So I guess that's probably what's going to happen is they're going to add all the numbers of all the seniors from because they did cheer, dance, band, and so we'll
Okay.
figure out.
Put you as my POC to let me know.
So it may actually still be pregame?
Yeah, just to find out
If
it's
there was a
pre or
ton.
if it's close.
Yeah, if
Or pre or half,
times
sorry.
you have to be there.
Yeah, you'll probably know before me actually.
Okay, and then, so we're waiting on the script from the football team. And this is just for us to answer questions to the parents. And then the program. So you did the program last year?
Yeah, but rightly so, Monica said you shouldn't do that because I'm terrible. And she's doing it. I just put the words in your mouth, that's okay. No. Monica's way more artistic than I am, so she's gonna put the program together, and she's awesome.
Those words
So-
never came out of my mouth.
No. I'm being self-deprecating, I'm not saying she actually said that, I'm sorry.
No. So with that being said, I guess we'll get the deadline on when that's due, but the Football Boosters is asking for $100 to help them print them. Is that something
We did that last year.
I believe
I
we.
don't know if we counted for it this year, but it's
I
$100.
believe we did.
we
Okay.
did?
Okay.
Okay.
We took whatever we paid last year and put it on there and added it.
So I
Okay.
can
Okay.
tell them yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just need to know when they need the check, I guess.
Okay, and then is there any questions from you guys on senior night?
We're still waiting on that answer. What time we-
Yeah.
either-
Right.
It's either gonna be pregame or halftime, we don't know.
My questions are-
And as soon as I know, I'll put it on the Stack app, and then I'll also let Mr. B and Master know, and they'll push it through Charlie as well. But other than that, no. Okay, that's all we have for.
And then I'll also blast soon that the kids need to go to Band App to answer those questions.
Yes,
Okay.
and if they cannot open it, tell them to log in with their Google email. Their student Google email will work just fine.
Okay.
If they have problems, just message me on there. But they're all tracking. I put it out there and I'll put it out again.
All right, our next game, I just want to go around, so we'll just do this 2 things. For the next game and for NAU, I want to go through and say what do we need in terms of volunteers, or are we short or are we okay on volunteers for uniform, hospitality, pit, props, kind of combined, chaperone. I think chaperone's basically good for the rest of the season, according to the signups, right? So starting this Friday, most important thing is pit. Do you guys have enough people you need, or do we need to get specific people to sign up, or just like ask people to come, especially since we're gonna be doing full props for that?
I think we have plenty, because some of the bid are also with props.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I mean,
and-
like
Yeah.
the combined.
This is way easier, so we had 2 people on tarps and stuff because of the hill in Las Cruces, people die out. But on the football field here, it's not that hard, one person per, so we just need 14, 15 or so.
Well, how Coach props are you doing those?
We do need
light
to talk
props?
to you about the light
Oh, I-
props, but how do we get them on still?
How do we get them on?
Yes.
You can do it all on a single cart.
So you could
Single
either
part,
that or
then
you
you start
could.
running into delay of 6 people having to
It
take them off and
it
set them up.
depends on how you wanna do it, and if you put sand in the bottom of them, that'll create a little bit different balance. But if you're above 5'6", you probably could just carry it out there on one side. It was easy enough to carry by itself.
And if we don't have
I
the,
said that about the last one, and then I found out it was not that easy. We would need to test it out with the actual people that are moving them.
Do you guys want?
They're light enough. You just
If we put the sand in the, so either we're gonna need to put the sand in the bottom of them, or we're gonna need to carry a weight out.
I think putting the sand and sealing it and putting would be the easiest, putting the PVC.
So I'm thinking we need 6 for the mirrors, and then
I'd
we
say
need
6
8
for-
for the tarps.
14 at least.
14, usually a couple extra in case the beast or the mic or anything else. Well, whatever we call it.
It's
I
the
call it the beast.
that's what we call it. That's you all have named it.
So,
14.
it-
Do we-
well, the what killed me in is I didn't know when we were down a student. I didn't realize one of the students was gone.
Right. I think that won't be true, at least for this game.
Do you want me to put a sign up Genius for pit crew and push that out so
I
you can get your
did-
spots filled?
That will make it very interesting since we already have Sunday
We
regulars.
have.
Oh, no, those people would just go in and you'd sign up.
I think we're okay. What we'll end up doing is we might pull people from the stands
Okay.
if we needed to.
Fair
For the
enough.
game, the football game.
So
all
let's
those
start,
props are done, right?
Oh, heck no.
No,
just one of them.
just a test, just to see how it works.
I wasn't gonna build them all until,
Do we need to have a build day?
You guys are awesome.
Do you need to have a build day that after, like in the evening, one night this week?
so
Or?
if we're gonna put sand in there,
But they're
definitely.
saying they'll pull people.
We've still gotta punch all the tarps with the grommets.
That's-
Putting them together is easy.
Do you want to do a build day?
So if we're gonna have it by Saturday, we're gonna need a build day.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's throw out a build day.
When's the game, Friday? Thursdays when we need to do it then.
Thursday after, like,
So if we could do a Thursday after school to
build the rest of the mirrors.
put them all together.
The PVC pipe or the
Yeah.
grommet and the PVC?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
We will have them cut to size.
And we'll have an assembly line on
It's-
whatever assemble team on Thursday.
That part's stupid simple. Putting that tarps on is not as
Okay.
fun, but I've got the measurements. I know where the grommets need to go.
Okay.
That's helpful.
Okay, so anybody who wants to come up, do you want me to blast out or just
What time?
enough people in this
Wait,
room?
So that's the thing, you're only gonna have you're only gonna need about 5 or 6 people, right?
Yeah.
Because at some point you get too
Right.
many people, there's not room to grommet. I mean,
That's true.
The other thing that we're gonna need is more punchies.
Look like
I
we got
ordered,
Is there another loose bag in there?
there was a whole full another bag.
Is-
Okay.
There was-
Okay,
Right.
Arlene, can you just cherry pick 5 or 6 people that you want to help on Thursday?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Sounds good.
Hospitality is it good for,
Yeah,
do you need help, extra help? And uniform.
the 20th, both of us have a wedding on that day, separate weddings. And so I know it's senior night, so it's a hard one, but is there anyone that could just put plumes in?
Yeah,
I
I'll-
forgot to ask, is it Halloween night? That was the other question the kids had.
For
No.
senior night, no,
No.
no,
As it
full
was last
uniform.
year.
I guess we need a non-senior parent to do that job. I was gonna say, I'll do it, wait, no, I can't.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so not.
Okay. So we need to get a uniform, somebody to fill in for uniforms on the 20th?
Will they be wearing their plumes at a certain time on that day, or will they be wearing?
Well, it depends. It's wherever the ceremony is not. If the ceremony's at half, we're at pregame. If it's pre, then we're at half.
I guess then it's fine, I could probably do it then.
So one.
I mean, I can help. I'll
Yeah,
be there
as
anyway.
long as it's not gonna be interfere with senior
Okay.
night stuff.
Well, and that's just good to know ahead of time. Thank you.
Okay, now, same thing for NAU. This is gonna be more complicated because we're traveling, right? Do we have enough people who are confirmed traveling? And the more complicated one is gonna be pit and
So
props.
what are we looking at for the stadium? Is it a big drop into the stadium and things like that?
But I don't get any. unless I call someone who's been there and I don't know anybody, they don't tell us.
I don't believe, and this is memory from a long time ago, y'all, I don't believe it's any more of a drop than Lucinda.
Okay.
It'll be about the same.
Okay, then that's not that bad.
I don't remember it being a huge,
I don't know that we have a good, well, you might have a list of some of the people that are going to that.
Important thing. I
Do we need to
forgot.
ask?
Yes, I agree.
He's got a list there and we'll build from that.
Okay, let me know if you want me to ask. We can get a confirmed list, because that one's gonna be more important, because if people are gonna have to be traveling.
Yeah,
And then
I would
so-
prefer to use people that.
I've done it before,
Yes.
but beggars can't be choosers. When we're traveling, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, we don't need to repeat.
No,
the
that's a
last
fair
one, 'cause
answer.
I'm not really on it, though.
Okay, so if you need help, you let me know.
Rebecca Johnson also says she can help.
Yeah, well, thank you, Rebecca. Hospitality for any of you? Do you guys need any more volunteers, assistance?
So far, we've had a good amount of
Oh.
volunteers. It's just a matter of figuring out when we're eating, what we're.
We just need the schedule for that, which is TBD, coming in soon.
Yeah.
The staging area again.
Right.
We need to figure that out.
Okay.
Let's see, and what do I have so far?
And did you say when you were gonna get us a schedule for any of you?
I think I have the final time. As for a minute by minute.
Yeah, so that they can plan meals and stuff.
I'll get that. I'll put that on my to-do list.
Okay, cool.
I have.
And same with Zia.
Yeah, both,
Yeah.
I guess. Be helpful.
How much?
I have a question.
Arrive, warm up, trans.
With Zia, are they gonna try the barbecue out there again like we did last year?
We do want to do the family tailgating again. That was
That was fun.
awesome.
I mean, it was,
So-
yeah, it was good.
So there'll be all hands on deck probably for helping make lunch happen, and probably dinner as well.
As I'm looking at just what's on the calendar right now, Janice, and this is for everybody. Is it all right if I update it on there?
Yes,
Um,
that'd be the best place
yeah.
to put it.
The only other thing, I mean, dinner is after awards, and so that's probably the simplest one. And then when we get their lunch, I see. I thought of them. I made time for it, but I didn't write it down. I'll put it right now.
Awesome. And uniforms for NAU. We're good there? Okay. Going back up the agenda.
So NAU, we may want, so don't kill me, okay, before I say this, I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't know how many of you guys have already booked your hotel rooms, but we're possibly looking at changing to Quality Inn instead,
Oh, what? Why? Why?
because they provide breakfast,
Yes, that's.
and that makes it easier for hospitality. The pricing is the same. Ish.
She addressed the quality.
Did we already tell parents about the blocker rooms for the other one?
We did.
Yeah.
I did check and there was only 4
Yeah.
rooms that were reserved.
And we were,
And we were 2 when we got off
We
that,
had
we were
2
staying at
rooms.
Embassy Suites now.
we had 2 individuals.
Okay,
So 2.
we just
As of
want,
last week, it was 2 rooms.
tell me
that
as soon
were-
as you can so we can communicate
So we,
about that.
so Cons already did the legwork on like getting, the group sales information,
If I want to change, I just have to say accept. And
Right.
they need to know sooner than later.
and that's what I wanted to.
Go ahead and do it. Well, let's just communicate very, very like extra about it because people may have already booked
Sounds
rooms.
like everybody who reserved a room is in here? Is you guys? You two?
Carla did, I think.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, how many people are gonna be staying there? Because we have enough chaperones on the bus there, but we need one more male for the boys chaperone.
As far as for chaperones, it can just be one, and it can just be me
So
because
if
it just room
If we have
checks.
Mr. V and we have Mr.
Yeah.
Corbin, then I think we have 2 men.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
because the guidelines suggest you have 2 chaperones. You don't go into anybody's room without 2 chaperones.
So
Gotcha.
she
Yeah.
counts as one.
Yeah. So if
Yeah.
I go along with,
Okay.
Mr.
Perfect.
Corbin is one sign up, and then if Mr. B is the second one, I think you have enough males. So.
Okay. I just wanna make sure.
Perfect.
Yes? No?
Okay.
No, well, I wanna make sure.
A hotel
We're changing it?
change is good.
Changing it?
What's the-
I'm saying if this makes sense to do it, let's just overly communicate that we've changed. Hey guys, whoa, big
Well,
change.
We have a month now, and if we put it in.
Yeah, yeah.
25
And it
percent.
gives you breakfast.
That makes sense. But we need to, as soon as you have that confirmed, tell me, and I will say a big important announcement. If you've booked on your own outside of like our reserved rooms at the old place, bear in mind we're moving to this other place.
Okay.
So that
Yes,
we just need.
quality and is much better than motel.
Okay.
Okay.
Just again, please let me know the moment that's confirmed.
Well, it's happening right now.
Perfect.
Online question?
Thank you, you have notified the other person.
Hold on
Yeah.
one second. Hold on.
Corbin family online. The chaperones will be. You do not have to book a room if you're a chaperone. We will
Correct.
be using one of the rooms we have blocked off for the band. Hopefully that went through.
Yeah.
Just a quick question in terms of the rooms in Las Cruces, some kids stay with parents at hotels. Are you gonna require all the kids to stay at the hotel Quality Inn? And if not, and some do end up, you have to meet a list of that so that you're not, you have 4 per room, right?
So logistically, that's gonna make it chaos,
Right,
and it
so
would
they all
be
require
easier,
to stay.
all students will stay at the hotel.
Yeah.
Unless,
Since there's cost incurred, it changes a lot.
Yeah.
because if not, we'll be losing out on money if they don't stay at the room. Cause then it'd be too, well, I don't know.
Are you answering it or I'm typing it?
I spoke it, but I'm also. Oh, go ahead if you're typing.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right. Okay. A little bit of chaos, but hopefully we'll get that sorted.
So, I'm sorry, quick question.
Sure.
So the kids staying at the hotel, are their rooms booked already? Or are
Yes.
we booking them?
No, they're,
Okay.
so all students' rooms and chaperones, anybody who's associated with the staff, not including, well, did that include the extra rooms for the,
They told me 36, and I did 40, plus they did an extra 10.
so
So there's
14?
50 rooms total that are
Okay, so
reserved.
yeah, so then you'll still have the 36 was for students and staff, and there's 14 rooms open for you guys to call and move
Do
rooms
we
over.
reference Volcano Vista or what?
Yes. That's what you
Yes,
have.
so it's under Volcano Vista Marching Band, and then I'll get the information to you for
Okay. Thank you.
who to call.
Yeah.
And the address, right?
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
gonna put it-
Thank you. Sorry, I might be-
Packing list. I'm just gonna go ahead and send out as the BOA packing list minus like the sleeping bag.
Yes,
It's basically the same thing.
and shower shoes.
Yeah, and shower shoes. All the stuff that didn't make sense for the group camping style.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh, I'm already trying to go. No?
okay, and I want to give Ms. Reese some time to talk about. If I give you 15 minutes, is that enough to talk about the trip?
Plenty.
Okay. So the next important thing, I just want to go through committees real fast. Our 4 fundraising committees. I think we talked about last time how by now we could have timelines for your events.
I missed that detail.
Okay,
But,
no worries.
So I have no timeline. I've been focusing on getting to October with hospitality.
I understand. I totally get it.
Week by week, so, but I'll have a meeting, maybe November 1st, so that I can report in to the
That's
next
great.
board meeting, 1st of
Yeah.
November, and we're
Luckily,
still
yours is
doing
also the
that.
latest event, so
That's
it's
right.
fine.
After that, so, okay.
Awesome. And race, Hawks Rock and Run.
Oh, I haven't, who is my, I think it's Angela and okay, clearly I will admit, I have not contacted my people, however, I do have a point of contact for, a car show rep. I think Mr. B said he had one. And I did reach out to the food truck committee to see who would be interested, but I think I wanna move that date. But
Okay,
we'll talk amongst ourselves and see what date would work better.
okay,
Cause track and field has quite a few things going on, and I know I won't be there if there's track and field events, cause Sierra runs, so, we'll
Okay.
come down and we'll adjust a better date, but.
Let's
we
bandy
have
that
to
around
run in.
offline.
I just gotta include them in the spiel, but yeah.
okay.
Okay.
So those are both second semester, so I think that's fine to not have a timeline there. But Luminaria is who's our Luminaria chair again?
Okay.
Oh,
Jeanette.
hey.
So, I don't, is Carla here? Oh, there she is, yes. Okay, so, me, Julie, Carla, and we gotta talk to Mr. Lee after this.
Correct.
To figure out, we do have ideas, and Dorothy did give me some info about the plan. So, that's where I'm at with that.
And I think Dorothy, you said you wanted to know, like, based off of your experience,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just need to know how many tons I need to get from Kurt, cause I'm gonna try to get him to give it to us at cost or to donate me some sand.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
ask who you're going through and recommend JBR. They get it for per ton is like $25 a ton.
Yeah, he'll give it to me for 18, but I'm hoping I can get it for 12.
That's perfect. My estimate was gonna be my estimate was gonna be 10 tons. I believe when we did it, there was 14,000. We did 2,500 dozen, and I think we probably had about 15 tons. So what is that? 10,000 Illuminatius.
Okay.
Because I think each ton.
That's a lot.
Yeah. It's,
I mean,
What-
this year.
yeah. But if we hit 1,000 dozen years this year, that's great. That's why I'm saying I think 10 tons.
Okay.
I think that's what we should be shooting for. I could be sorely off. We can measure it quite literally because it's an 8-ounce can of Campbell's soup. That's how much sand you put in. So I could weigh that and figure it out.
Yeah, just an estimate, because what I'm gonna try to get from him is, donate me 2 or 3 tons,
Yeah.
whatever.
I'm gonna say
$60 is $60.
yeah. I'm gonna say 10 tons and probably deliver to the school. And what we'll do is we'll get a big tarp out there and we'll load it up from there and.
That's what I was just gonna recommend. Yep, okay.
okay.
Sorry, I just happened to walk over here.
Okay, so I think the most important thing for you guys, and maybe this is something we do offline, is just like what do you think the timeline is gonna look like between now? When do you want them to go on sale?
Yeah, that's kind of information I needed to ask Mr.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
When, and so Carla did have good ideas, like, purchasing the brown bags or whatever to send home to the kids, so they can fold them, bring them back, maybe have a sand party. So get them together and then get ready to put candles and get them delivered.
Awesome.
And then 2, how are we gonna do the donation? Are we gonna do like a spreadsheet? How many are we gonna, each student is gonna do, 10 to 20?
Oh, for
asking, Or are
delivery.
we gonna ask, like, whenever you do the brand pitch off that list?
You're saying for delivery, or how are we gonna talk?
Advertise.
To sell them.
This is for everybody. Again, I was part of this. I was part of a very. When I say we were selling, the Albuquerque Youth Symphony was selling 14 to 16,000 dozen, and so when we were doing by that, it was pure reputation. And so what I got assigned, I was actually given a list of about 50 phone numbers, and over the course from August until December, I was responsible to call every single one of those numbers. So we do have to build our base. I think in the very similar way that we can start with, if you guys would build a sheet where students create maybe a call list, because I think it'll be different than the fan pledge list. I think it'll be uniquely different because
It might be
you
more
can-
like neighbors and stuff.
Yeah, this is one that you can go door to door. There are some that you can, there are some that you can't. This would be okay to collect where it's like knock on doors or find people in the neighborhood. And I'd say that we set a number that we want every kid to have at least 10 numbers to call.
At least 10 to 20, you think, or?
Let's say 20, and then if we have too many, we just make it happen. Let's say 20. I'd say 20 because from my list of 50, I got like 7 to 10 confirmations.
Okay.
So
All right,
the only thing I'm afraid is I want to make sure that we go on sale right away in November. So we're gonna be exhausted after Zia, but
Yeah.
we probably want to get on that and get live on the store and flyers and get it approved by the activities director
Yeah.
early November so that we can have them on sale for that. I think that 2 weeks
Okay.
in November.
And also, do we want the bags for the students so they can start folding them and then,
That would be as soon as possible.
okay,
They take a while to fold, and I have to teach them how to fold. We double fold.
okay.
Oh, good.
You double fold. You can rip a double fold really quick.
So how many bags our students are gonna be able to take home, like 100, 200 bags, or?
Yeah, well, I'd say that we're shooting for 1,000 dozen. So we're shooting for 12,000 bags and divided by 73 students.
Okay.
But this also includes jazz band and concert band, right?
Oh, so divided by 82 or something.
Okay, this way we're sharing it, it's not just all on marching.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'd be that, whatever that is divided by. And then we can actually, we can do, we honestly get a big bulk of it done in a folding party. We come in on we pick a time in November, we put a couple movies on, and for about 3-4 hours, the kids are just here.
Okay.
They'll probably be-
So maybe we can plan a couple of those.
Yeah, I think that might be easier our first time for me to show them. We told camp, you tell camp stories and we just go.
Okay.
Another
One
question.
more question, I'm sorry. So are they all gonna be delivered, or are they gonna have the option of picking it up? Is it gonna be 2 different prices? I've seen it done both ways. I don't know how you suggest or what you would prefer.
I suggest that it's one price and they're delivered.
Okay.
And so that logistics will fall on, that's the back end part for the team creating maps and just address. There's probably some AI chat thing that you put all the addresses and it'll make a map for you at this point.
Since we're short on time, can we do this? I think the most important thing to do today is to commit to a timeline, and then let's start an email chain like now between the committee and Mr. V and myself, and let's figure out like when these things are going to happen. Let's punch out the details so that it can be on a calendar with those details.
So the
By
date,
November.
the date that we want to know our final
Yeah.
number, the date that we want to put these things. So let's just get that. So the very, very early, like the date that we are going to decide on the number of things for, and just make a hard date. That way we follow.
And just like pick a calendar that you think is right, and let's just get the communication going.
Okay.
And then we will we'll just iterate on that starting today. But hopefully we'll get our stuff together by November.
Yeah, I figured the earlier was better, so
Yeah.
we're not running out of time on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. And if you could initiate that, that would be
Okay.
wonderful. Thank you.
So the folding party is gonna happen like during school hours, or it'll be another time?
It'll be on a Saturday. It'll be on something.
Okay.
Or
I mean, cause that was one of the things we were talking about in advance, it's like, there's like no days left to do a folding party.
They would be in November,
That's what
probably.
we're trying to do.
yeah,
After
yeah,
marching
yeah,
season.
Yeah, we don't have to fold them for a while since we'll likely have a low cell. But
Okay,
we'll have that. We'll do all that stuff in committee with communication.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so because right now I don't want to get buried in all the details here. Let's just commit to starting the process of figuring that out in the next month, so that November we have the plan laid out.
Okay.
Sweet. Thank you.
Awesome.
And I'm gonna hand over the rest of the time to Mr. V to talk about our spring trip.
Durango. I have real things to show you. I got numbers. I don't have pictures. I did change the font from what comes standard on Google Docs, so it's about as professional as it gets around here. Small marching shoes. Are these Kayla's? No? I thought she has like a 4.5. Okay. Hot man trip to Durango.
I
Gonna
literally
be
have a
pretty simple.
once a week reminder.
Yeah, let me actually bring this over so they can hear me. And try to show them on my screen at the same time. All right, Hawk Band trip to Durango. So I've done a little bit of research, talked to some band directors, and we have a trip. This is what the trip looks like. This is what's in place. We have a time, a timeline at the bottom for payments, all that good stuff. In wonderful prose. You can laugh at all of it. I'll let you read it on your own. But things such as the trip goers will leave Albuquerque at approximately 9 a.m. to arrive in time for a lovely and relaxing afternoon at the beautiful Pagosa Springs pools to begin their trip. After we have all had our fair share of some, and you get it, you can read it. I just kind of a fun way to kind of think about it. If you want to, and I'll be distributing this. I'll be sending this out in a PDF. That way, people who are not seeing it, you can share it. But I'll kind of blast through it, right? So we're going to head up to Durango, Colorado. On the way up, we're going to stop at Pagosa Springs to spend a couple hours in the hot springs there. Some of the best that I've ever seen. They're pretty incredible. We'll be staying in Durango, so we'll drive up afterwards. Staying at the La Quinta Inn, which has a nice walkway that can go into downtown. Something that I actually wanted with that is that we have a little bit of nature that we can go by. The river being right close by, and with a direct paved path into town. So that's really, really nice. I'm sorry?
Our family has stayed there.
Oh, Yeah, it's just everything about it, and so kind of a naturey trip. Back to the hotel, dining for dinner, get some rest for the evening. Day 2, the ticket items on day 2 is we will be taking the Durango and Silverton train round trip. So on that, we'll have a little box lunch that we'll have on the way when we get to, I'm forgetting, Cascade Canyon. So at the end, there'll be an hour that we spend there after we take the train ride up and back. It's about total round trip. It's about 5.5 hours, and it goes, as it says, it goes through the San Juan National Forest. We kind of trail along with the river as that ride is going through. Other than that, I would just highly recommend that you go onto the Durango Silverton website and read more. They have lovely pictures. I'm very excited for it. I don't know if many other people have done. I've done the Cumbres Toltec up in Chama, just an iconic memory for me. And as a 13-year-old kid, I don't know why I still remember it so much. But it was just like all the trees and all the wonderful, oftentimes they have open cars, right? So you can go outside and you can just kind of be in the free air. In the time of April up there in Colorado, going to be wonderful, beautiful weather. And then just old school kind of travel train where you got the snack cart and you can kind of walk around going nice and slow. So that's the big item on that second day, as well as going into what I loved on my band trip. I went there my senior year in high school. They have one of the coolest rec centers. So I put a couple things there. 22,000 square foot aquatic area. That's not the pool. That's like play area. That's like slides, and that's like everything to do with water that's not a pool. They also have a pool. They have a climbing wall. They have a gym. They have a pool table area. They have racquetball. It's going to be wear yourselves out before we head on over to dinner at the Strader Hotel. The Strader Hotel is the iconic 19th century Victorian era hotel where you go in and everything is, carved mahogany, and there's a bellhop at the entrance to the elevator and all that sort of stuff. So we'll get our taste of the Strader Hotel while we are there. And surprisingly enough, those two things take up the entire day, and have some music and dinner over there at the Strader. Simply enough, on that third day, lazy morning, we'll explore downtown Durango a little bit, give them some free time in order to see what they want to see. Actually walking up and down alongside the river, there's some nice nature paths that are around there. It's just some good time to kind of spend with your friends on your own. And allow them to explore kind of that area, be naturey. We'll be checking out of that hotel. We'll be taking off out of there, and on our way back, we will be stopping at the Aztec Ruins National Monument. That's up in northern New Mexico. So if you imagine, we're going up kind of through Santa Fe to hit Pagosa, and then coming down around through that Farmington area to come back down through the ruins. And then by that time, 3 days have gone by. Arrival probably about 6 p.m. on that Saturday, and our band trip is complete. I'll let you look more at those details if you have any more questions, of course. Let me get to the things that you really want to know about. What's included? Just about everything. Hotel, charter bus, admission to the hot springs, train ride, rec center, and all of the meals. By all of the meals, I am talking about a per diem or a meal deal. That has yet to be figured out, just depending on what the Strader will do. I have contact with them on whether or not they will do a flat price for a certain number, like 3 different meals, right? A vegetarian, some sort of a steak, and then a chicken. Or it's this is your money for this meal place. If you want to bring extra because you want the filet mignon, go ahead. But your trip cost accounts for X amount of dollars of it. But of all the places accounted for is enough money for them to get the most reasonably expensive item on the menu. Total cost per student is $425, with all of that included. I should put this in a different order, apologies. The payment schedule, and these two last items here are contingent upon each other. So the payment schedule, you'll see there's the non-refundable deposit of $175. That payment goes directly toward us booking our charter bus and making sure our trip can happen. We don't have a charter, we can't go, right? And it's as simple as that. And so that's the big ticket item up front that we have to pay for. Now, I want to bring your attention and explain the min and maximum. So the trip will be limited to a maximum of 50 passengers. That 50 passengers allows for 4 chaperones to travel along on a 54-passenger charter bus. Okay, so that is our maximum. We won't go over because then it starts to change costs. We add another bus for 2 kids, exorbitantly changes the price by about $200. So we have our maximum. We have a minimum. This total per student cost is $425 is based upon having the minimum number of students. The nice thing that I think when you're planning for something like this, say we reach that maximum, all of a sudden some of these later payments either disappear or they are reduced, right? So you will see that on the back end. We're not fixing it in. We want to make sure that it's fair to everybody. We're just trying to cover the costs of the trip. So this $425 is based on the current hotel and a minimum number of 35 students. We get up to that maximum, or in the case that we go over that maximum, you'll see I have very simply, it's if more than 50 students are interested by that November 1st date and have paid their deposit. Very important that it's if they have paid their deposit. Interest, unfortunately, does not pay for buses, right? So cash money, something that we have received to reserve your spot on that bus, it requires a deposit. So of those people who have deposited, if we get more than 50 deposits, it will become either, it is by seniority, seniors, juniors, sophomores, freshmen, and if that break is within any given class, so it would either be in the sophomore or the freshman region, it will be a lottery, just a random-based lottery within the class of all of those students. So the cutoffs in the sophomores, it'll be all the sophomores who've paid a deposit, those that get chosen randomly, their deposit goes towards the bus. The deposit of everybody else is refunded. Under 35, deposits are refunded. Over 50 and you are not chosen by lottery, deposit is refunded. If you are going on the trip, it is non-refundable. There's no other... I hope that makes sense. I couldn't write it in any other way. If you are selected for the trip, I should say, if you are selected as one of the travelers, it is a non-refundable. If the trip does not happen, or if there are too many people on the trip, it is refundable. So if you can understand that by that November 1st. I do have here prices subject to change on booking of the hotel. That's very unlikely. The only reason that we would change is to go and to be able to sit in downtown Durango, which I don't necessarily have any preference for, or something happens. I've chosen this one about 3/4 of a mile outside of Durango on purpose. If you try to wander away, you're going to be the only one, and we'll see you. So, no wandering away. Very simple, in order to keep all the children safe and to discourage anybody from taking nighttime strolls. And that's the end of it. So, pretty concise little trip. Wonderful attractions. I'm really excited that some of the students were excited about doing the train ride. But again, I just think it's fun. It's just so different to be out in nature and going. These are places that you can't go by car, right? These are places that you can't see any other way than really going on this train. So it's very, very special for those of you that haven't been on a train before. This is a really, really great opportunity. And especially it's this, I don't know, it's a special time to be able to spend with your friends on this slow-moving train in some of the most beautiful terrain right up there in the Rocky Mountains. Any questions? Anything I can clarify about the trip itself? Yes?
Can you share this document
Mhm.
on the band app and the Slack?
Oh, yeah.
A couple places.
Absolutely, yeah. This is the first time it's been seen by anybody, so I want to make sure to present it here first. And in the case that any edits needed to be made to it, if anybody saw any typos or anything before I sent it out, I'll be giving a copy to each of the students, a hard copy, as well as distributing by PDF. Other questions?
Will there be any fundraisers for just this?
At this time, no. This is strictly on you wanting to go on this trip. You will go on this trip. Oh, I forgot to mention, on the first day, there will be I think it's on there, there will be a short musical clinic at Fort Lewis College. Being that it's over spring break, it's not a required portion of the trip. If it was during the school week, there are stipulations about that. So if we decided to do something fun that evening, we could. But also in the way that there are no fundraisers for it. It's, if you want to go, you want to go. Any other questions?
This is going to be a very busy month, and we've added a lot more to our plate with trying to also plan a spring trip. So you're going to get a lot of communication over the next probably week from me and Mr. V, or both, re-emphasizing things. So please be patient, but I will try to respond to emails and questions, and as we get these things going. The last thing to mention about the trip is we did discuss initially, at least first, we're only going to accept these deposits and cash or check.
Correct.
We are exploring ways to take the deposits electronically, but there is, because we have this promise of refund, there is some complications there that arise from us trying to refund various kinds of electronic deposits. So I will send out communications as we figure that out.
Yeah, very important. So cash or check for this deposit, and we're looking for any other options that may make things more feasible or easier. But hopefully that doesn't deter you. If you're planning or you would like your student to go on this trip, hopefully that's not something that would take away. If it did for whatever reason, please do contact us.
Definitely.
If that were to be a reason for you to not. Any others? Yeah. Yeah. Any other breakdowns, anything like that?
All right.
What's the time frame? So like, you have to have so many people by November 1st. So by November 2nd, you'll know if it's gonna happen or not happen.
Pretty much.
Yep. Yeah, for us, the only thing that it's dependent on is the bus. Unfortunately, well, it's fortunate for, you can see it from two ways. Once we have that bus and once that deposit is taken, us having less hotel rooms doesn't change the cost, so we'll go. If for whatever reason, right, so everybody else isn't paying their full trip fees, and there's 3 students who pay the full trip fees, well, it's 3 students who get to have a party on the bus and go up, because the bus is, that's the part, we cut the hotel down to 1 room. We only buy 2 train tickets, you know what I'm saying? So once that November 2nd date happens, it's happening. However many people are going is however many continue their payments. That should be an asterisk. You traveling on this trip is contingent on you paying all payments in a timely fashion. Very important. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, Carla?
So my child's a freshman, so say 50 go, and she isn't able to go, can we just come? Can we just drive and join and pay for all our stuff?
That'd be
She's gonna wanna go no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm like, how can we go?
Yeah, it's close enough, and we did talk about, there was discussion about allowing, like, what is the trip for, right? Identifying, because we do know that there are some families who love to travel together. Some students, this is their one time away. Sorry, parents. But in the event that we are maybe short, but there are parents who maybe want to travel with us, we'll consider options where, if that would make the trip happen to go. But it's not that far away. If you just want to travel with us, if you just want to come, the cap on 50 is purely to keep a budget that allows you guys to know what you're paying. If we have a flexible number and we go over by 10, unfortunately the trip gets more expensive if we had 53 people go, right? Because the bus to go up and back is $5,300. That's the bus cost for the weekend. So you go for 10,006, and all of a sudden that number looks, it's a lot weirder.
I think realistically, with the band this size, I think it's unlikely we'll get to 50, but I could be surprised.
Yeah, so we'll see. So just let us know.
We'd have to get to 100 to make it worth it to extend.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
like maybe
extend that number.
like 80 or 90.
Yeah. Basically, once we jump over that number, the price per kid at 35 is, well, it's 175 per kid. That's at 35. That's what covers that cost. So that's why we're putting the cap, because we want to make it happen. We want this to happen. We are doing the trip, like I said. And so that is my intent and my goal, to give these students another opportunity to build and create relationships away from the band hall.
And special thanks to Mr. V, who's done all this kind of extra, like, it was fun because he could have just gone through a travel agency and like put these numbers up here as way bigger and saying, here's our spring trip. He's done a lot of legwork to say, hey, here's how we can do a cool, cheap spring trip
Yeah,
that we haven't done yet, so thank you.
You're very welcome, and I should say this, the reason, and it gives us a little more headaches, the overhead that we are saving. So this trip is all-inclusive, all meals, with travel, and it comes out to $425. The travel agency, at $39, 4 per room, no meals, and I think only the train ride was, I think, $600. They take a high premium for doing all of the work. And like I said, I wanted to make sure it happened, and I wanted to make sure it was as cost effective as we can. If it comes to Disney, I don't know if I'm going to buy all the park passes for everybody, but for future years, I guess this is for any of the any of the parents of younger students in the program. Us planning our trips is a considerable savings. It is a lot of work, but just think ahead of time if we ever want to do something that's a little bit bigger. We want to take the marching band to San Antonio. We want to take the concert band to Carnegie Hall. We want to do something like that. These trips, we can save a lot of money when we plan. So I'll leave that at that. Just thinking in the future about that.
Because I travel a lot, and being that that's around the spring coming,
Yes.
you have checked into the hotel, but you'd be
Correct.
good for that time.
Correct. Yeah. And so what I want to do is I called the hotel today to confirm 16 rooms, which fits our average number, and then we can confirm from there. But it's just a 2-week out. We're going to put the card number down, reserve those rooms. And then again, the biggest one is the bus. I said, how late can we get this bus? Because I want to give parents time. And she said mid-November. I said because going within town is almost a third of the cost if I get any other bus company. If we do the same one that we did for Las Cruces, that bus was almost 3 times as much. So if we get Herrera, and it's crazy because they have to hire the driver has to come here from El Paso, stay a night, drive back the next day. If we get someone in town, we keep it cheap. That's why we have our deadline of November 1st. She said that by mid-November, that whole timeline looks booked up, and she is booking things. So the sooner the better, I would say. If we hit our 35 mark early, we'll book it. So if you are interested, I would say do it sooner than later, because once we get that chunk of change, we'll immediately reserve that bus.
So please, when you do your payments, we've got the nice little safe here, make sure we use an envelope, make sure you put your use name on it, and make sure you flag it for the trip, because otherwise it's going to your band fees.
Yeah, and a lot of people miss them and don't see them because it's inconspicuous. They have a whole lot of things on them. It's right on top. Most people always ask me for an envelope. I'll make a box that has it, or I'll just take one on the front of the box actually right now.
Janice, you have a question?
Oh, that was my question
Okay.
about how many kids just need.
So for a Bandtober meeting, which is usually very heavy anyway, we're only 10 minutes over. Thank you all for your patience with me sort of rushing through everything. The best thing to do is if we have lingering questions, things like that, is to take them into email, because that's the easiest way to get things around. I have a big to-do list of things to communicate to you all throughout the month. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a huge, awesome, fun October. The band is doing even better than they did last year, which is just shocking to me to see how much we continue to improve. They're going to kick butt. It's going to be fun. So, yes.
Just one, I wanna pick your guys' brain real quick, cause I'm putting out the post for the game on Friday. Has anybody ever gone on the top and switched from the shooter to home? Has anybody ever done it?
They don't.
That's what I wanted to ask.
You have to
Because
go
I'm
in, you have to go out and around.
I wanted to make it specific.
All right, that's all I think is being on Friday.
You can't even wear
The access.
if you wear Volcano trying to get on the other side, they won't
They
allow
won't
you.
let you. Oh, really?
If you're wearing band stuff, they don't notice.
Oh, no, but for regular fans,
oh, they don't promote.
Yeah, they
if
get
you're wearing Volcano and you're trying to go to Cedar side, ain't gonna happen.
But Rio Rancho can go on either side. But the 2 playing teams, you cannot go on either one.
I get what you're saying. I'll put that on there. Okay, so where's? Wear a neutral shirt? Okay.
Or you don't wear any colors.
Or not wear any colors.
Yeah, or wear black. Okay, motion to close the meeting.
Sorry. Motion
closed, yeah.
Conti and Arlene, or however you want to do it. Angelique. Thank you all. I'll hang out for a few minutes here. Any questions? Well, I'll see you on the internet.
I didn't know that. I've been trying to go over to.
I did not know that either.